Welcome to Lab 21, Monitoring System Performance. For Lab 21, you'll need your Server A, Windows 2012 Server, and your Client B, Windows 8.1 Enterprise Virtual Machines. We're using the Lab Configuration 3 still, so your client will be a member of the ADATM domain. You'll need to log into Client B as the ADATM administrator. Click the Start button and then type admin. And then click the Administrative Tools tile that appears in the results. Select the Event Viewer from the Administrative Tools folder. We'll expand the windows a little bit so you can see it. And then you want to expand the Windows logs file and click the system log. It'll take a little bit to load. So the contents of the log appear in the details pane. So question 1, how many events appear in the system log? Enter the answer for question 1 into your lab worksheet for Lab 21. Again, question 1, how many events appear in the system log? Click the Action menu and choose Filter Current Log. In the event level area, select Critical, and then select Warning, and then click OK. And then answer question 2, how many events appear in the system log now? Enter the answer in your lab worksheet. Question 2, how many events appear in the system log now? When you do the filtering like this, showing you the warning and criticals, it makes it easier to identify when your machine's having issues, because you'll only see those logs related to critical issues or warnings, and those are usually what you may be interested if the computer's having problems starting a service or a driver or any other type of issue. Click the Action menu again. This time select the way they have it listed in the book is not exactly the way you would do a custom view. For the custom view, you'd go over to the Actions side menu over here and select a Create Custom View. And the Create Custom View dialog box appears. In the log drop-down list, choose the last 7 days. And in the event level area, click the critical checkbox and select the warning checkbox. Leave the by log options selected, and in the event logs drop down list under Windows Logs, select Application checkbox. Application and Security. And System is already checked. Then we'll click off of the menu, click OK. In the name text box, type critical warning and warning, and then click OK. And then take a screenshot of the event viewer window by pressing Alt Print Screen and paste into your Lab 21 worksheet. So you want a screenshot of the whole window for the event viewer. Then moving on, in the Windows Log section, right-click the System and choose Clear Filter. That's how you clear a log. Close the event viewer. And that's the end of exercise 21.1. Leave client B running and logged in for the next exercise. Leave the administrative tools folder open. Exercise 21.2, using the task manager. On the Client B desktop, right-click the taskbar and choose Task Manager. Then answer question 3 in your worksheet. Question 3, which applications are running? The Task Manager window should tell you the answer to that question. Question 4, which tabs are shown? Enter the answer to those questions into your lab worksheet. Click the More Details to expand the Task Manager. And then answer question 5, which tabs are shown? And enter the answer to question 5 into your worksheet. Question 5, which tabs are shown? Click the Start button, and on the Start screen, type WordPad, and select the WordPad tile that appears in the results. And then question 6. In the Apps section of the Task Manager's Process tab, which process is used for WordPad? So answer question 6 in your lab worksheet. Question 6, in the Apps section of the Task Manager's Process tab, which process is used for WordPad? On the Task Manager page, click Fewer Details. Right-click the WordPad application and choose End Task. And then click More Details. That's how you close tasks if you need to. For some reason, if you can't close an application, you would use the exact same method to close the application. Right-click the Windows Explorer process and choose Open File Location. The Windows folder opens where the Explorer.exe resides. You can close the Windows folder. So if you needed to find where an application existed, that's how you do that. In Task Manager, right-click the Name column title at the top of the first column and choose Process Name. Click the Performance tab. Then answer question 7 in your worksheet. Which primary systems can be monitored with the Task Manager? Again, question 7. Which primary systems can be monitored with the Task Manager? Moving on. Take a screenshot of the Performance tab by pressing the Alt Print screen and pasting it into your Lab 21 worksheet. In the left pane, click Memory, and then click Ethernet. So that shows you how much of each resource is being used by any running tasks. Click the Users tab. Expand Administrator to display the programs and processes being executed by the administrator. To see a detailed list of all processes running, click the Details tab. To display additional columns, right-click the Name column and choose Select Columns. When the Select Columns dialog box appears, select Session ID and select the Threads column. And click OK. To sort by components that make up the most memory, click the Memory Private Work Set title. From time to time, a program or action might cause Windows Explorer to stop functioning. In these cases, you can use the Task Manager to stop and restart the Explorer. Therefore, find and right-click the Explorer.exe and choose End Task. When you are prompted to end the Explorer.exe, click End Process. In the Task Manager, select File and Run New Task. When the Create New Task dialog box appears, in the Open text box, type Explorer and then click OK. To view the current services, click the Services tab. And then close the Task Manager. There it showed you how to stop and start the Explorer.exe. Occasionally when you make registry changes to Windows, you'll need to do that to have the registry changes reflected in the Explorer.exe window. So it's at the end of the exercise 21.2, closing the open windows before you begin the next exercise. But leave client B running. Exercise 21.3, using the Performance Monitor console. On client B, using the administrative tools. Double-click Performance Monitor. Browse to and set and click, Monitoring Tools, Performance Monitor. You're actually viewing their performance right now. I'm not running anything, so that's why you see just a little line down here at the bottom. And then when I moved the mouse, it bounced up a little bit here. At the bottom of the screen, click the percent processor time. To remove the counter, click the red X at the top of the window. Then click the Add button, the green plus sign on the toolbar, and the Add Counters dialog box appears. Under the available counters, expand the processor. Click the percent processor time, and then click the Show Description. Checkbox. Read the description for the percent processor time. Then click Add. Processor time should now show up in the Added Counters section. Under the available counters, expand the server work queues. And then click the queue length counter. Under the instances of selected objects, click 0 and add. It doesn't give me an option to click 0. It finally popped in. It took a while for it to load. So choose 0 and then add. So now it's added it to the added counters. Under the available counters, expand the server work queues and click the queue length. Under instances of selected objects, click 0 and then add. We did that. Add the following counters for system processor queue length, system processor queue length, memory page faults per second, click add, and physical disk total current queue disk queue length. Physical disk total current disk queue length. So you want the total. Click add. And select the OK to close the Add Counters dialog box. Now you should see different colored lines for each of the different counters. So as I move the mouse around, you can see the different actions. It's zoomed them in because otherwise they'd be really low, since I'm not doing much right now. But it does want to show you the actions, so it's made the relative size pretty large. Mouse over to the lower left corner of the desktop and right click the start screen thumbnail that appears there and click the command prompt admin. At the command prompt, execute the command prompt dir space c:// space /s. You should see a spike in the CPU usage in the performance monitor window. So this is while it's running. At the top of the graph you should see a toolbar. Click the down arrow of the change graph type. and then click the histogram bar. Change the graph type to report. And then change back to line graph. These are the different ways to view the results. Click the Properties button. The Performance Monitor property sheet appears. Notice that the counters that you have selected. So the counters that we put in show up here. Click the processor total, processor time, and then change the width to the heaviest line width. And change the color to red. Click the Graph tab. In the vertical scale box, change the value of the maximum field to 200 and then click OK. That changed the scale. Close the administrator command prompt window. To create and use a data collector set, perform the following steps. On client B in the left pane, expand the data collector sets. Right-click the user-defined folder. Choose New. And then click the data collector set. In the name box, type My DCS1. Click Create Manually, Advanced, and choose Next. Select Performance Counter and click Next. To add counters, click Add. Under the available counters, expand the processor node. By clicking the down arrow next to processor. Scroll down to the % processor time and click Add. and then add the following counters: server work queries, server work queues, queue length counter, system processor queue length, memory page faults per second, and memory pages per second. Physical disk total, current disk queue length. Click OK, and then Next, and then click Finish, and then right click the My DCS1 and choose Start. Let it run for at least 2 minutes. I'm going to pause the video so you don't have to wait 2 minutes. So it's been 2 minutes. Right click the My DCS1 and choose Stop. Open the File Explorer and navigate to C:/perf logs/admin/mydcs1, and then open the folder that was just created. Then double click the data collector 1. The performance monitor graph opens. Answer question 8 in your worksheet. Question 8. Now what does the DCS, now that the DCS has been created, what advantages does the DCS1 have? And then question 8 again, now that the DCS has been created, what advantages does the My DCS1 have? Take a screenshot of the performance monitor window showing the contents of your My DCS1 data collector set and paste it into your Lab 21 worksheet. Close the performance monitor. And close the My DCS1 folder. And close the performance monitor. That's the end of the exercise 21.3. Leave the administrative tools window open. You can close any other open windows before you begin the next exercise. Exercise 21.4, using the resource monitor. On Client B, using the administrative tools, double-click the resource monitor. In question 9, which primary systems can be monitored with resource monitor? Answer question 9 in your lab worksheet. Question 9 again, which primary systems can be monitored with resource monitor? On the resource monitor page, click the CPU tab. To sort the processes alphabetically, click the image title at the top of the first column in the processes section. And then click the Memory tab. Question 10. Which process is using the most memory? So enter the answer to question 10 in your lab worksheet. Which process is using the most memory? Click the Disk tab and then answer question 11 in your lab worksheet. Which process is using the disk the most? Enter the answer to question 11 in your lab worksheet. Which process is using the disk the most? Click the Network tab and then expand the listening ports. And then answer question 12 in your lab worksheet. Question 12, which image is listening on port 53? Mine doesn't show it, but the answer to the question 12 may or may not appear for some people in their ports list. It should be port 53 is DNS.exe. And take a screenshot of the resource monitor window by pressing the Alt print screen and pasting into the lab worksheet, and then close the resource monitor and closing the open windows. So the next section is the lab challenge, which you can do at your own convenience if you want to do it. I'm not going to grade the lab challenge portion of lab 21. So this time you can save your lab worksheet and submit it through Blackboard for lab 21. So it's the end of Lab 21.